Hey, Grace Bible Church, Pastor Jason here. I am so excited about what's fixing to take place. Over the next 4 or 5 weeks, you're going to have an opportunity during the middle of your week to watch a devotion. And we're going to call this devotional series from, kind of through November and leading up to the Advent season, Finding Rest in a Restless World. And I've been reading a book lately called The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry by John Mark Comer, and I really love it because it talks about the idea of finding rest. And we're going to talk about that. And in the book, he talks about how Jesus constantly went into the wilderness. It's almost like he went into the wild. And the Greek word that they use for wilderness in the New Testament doesn't just mean like the desert. Like I always thought it just meant like rolling sand dunes and camels, and every once in a while there was like an oasis. But really what it means is it's a desolate place. It's a lonely place. And so he would go away, and sometimes it was a desert, sometimes it was on top of a mountain. And in fact, the very first thing that Jesus did in his ministry after he was baptized was he went into the wilderness. It actually says that the Spirit led him there. When you think about the life of Jesus, he really did two things. The first thing that he did is he hung out with people. He hung out with sinners, people that didn't know his dad the way that he hoped that they would. And then the other thing that he did is he hung out with his dad. He spent time, and in fact, it tells us in John that he often went into the wilderness. He often got away to spend time with his dad. And guys, it's really important. As we move through this series, as you move through the fall and into Thanksgiving and the busyness of that season, and then right after that's done, stepping right into the Advent season and the craziness of Christmas parties and Christmas concerts and orchestra things and church parties and dinners and family events and present buying and all of those things, you're going to live at a pace that you're not designed to live at. But later in this series, we're going to talk about that rhythm of a Sabbath, 6 days of work and 1 day of rest. But I just want to read you a quote as we finish this introductory devotion for you. It comes from that book that I told you about, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry, and it's a quote by Henry Nouwen, and he says this: "Without solitude, it is virtually impossible to live the spiritual life." And then he doubles down and he doesn't sugarcoat it at all. He says this: "If we do not take the spiritual life seriously, we do not take the spiritual life seriously if we do not set aside some time to be with God." And so here's my challenge for you. Over the next 5 weeks, as we do this series, I want you to commit to setting aside 5 minutes of your day to sit down, be quiet, and just spend time with Jesus. Just sit at his feet and listen to what he would have for you. Distraction free, no music, the TV's not going. If you need to get up early in the morning before the kids get up and the day gets busy, take 5 minutes a day for the next 5 weeks. Guys, that's 35 minutes a week. I guarantee you that's less time than half of you spend scrolling Instagram or Twitter or Facebook. We're just asking for 5 minutes to go into the wild and find rest in a restless world.